What's up, people? Okay, hey guys. So, in this video, we're gonna see about links, how we can link different HTML, how we can link to other websites, and how we can link to different sections of the same HTML. Lots of cool stuff. So, stick around. And obviously, we're gonna start CSS. We're gonna start styling our HTML pages in this video. Yes. So, please watch till the end, and I will see you inside.
Okay, so before we start linking multiple HTML pages, we need to make some HTML pages, right? We actually already have action.html, but we're gonna make a few like about.html. Um, what else? Um, okay, projects.html. Okay, let's quickly make the :5. Okay, document projects here also. Let's :5 and give this about. Okay, nothing in body right now. Oh, actually, let's give a h1 and say about page, and here give a h1 up, and this one is projects page. Okay, now here actions. Okay, now let's combine the ideas of list and links. Okay, now first of all, let's combine only. Okay, let's say let's make a nav. Okay, like I showed you in semantic elements, for navigation we can use nav, right? Inside nav we will use an unordered list, type none. Let's see if none works. Okay, here we need to add links. Okay, and for the link we use a tag. A stands for anchor, and a alone can't do anything. Okay, it's a container tag, by the way. Here you'll add the text you want to link, right? You'll see in a moment, like let's say about. Okay, here we have to add an attribute href. I guess it stands for hyperlink reference or something, because this one will become hyperlink. Okay, and then we have to add the path to the HTML. Okay, so as I told you, dot means the current directory, slash everyone in the every other HTML page is in the same directory. So I'll add just dot slash about dot HTML. Okay, now let's see what happens. Cool. Now because I gave type none, there's no bullet points here, which we don't want actually in the navigation, right? Cool. So let's make a couple of few link, like projects.html, objects. And next one, action.html. I'll just type it. VS Code gives you suggestions. You can use that also. You can type also. You can do anything you want. Okay, now we have 3 links. We have already visited the action page in a previous video, in just previous video actually, where we made this form. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, it worked. Let's go back and let's try projects. Okay, it worked too. And let's try about. It worked too. Now, in some cases you might want to open the page in a new browser, right? Like what you can say. Okay, not only HTML, you can add here another URL too, like HTTPS. Obviously you have to add HTTPS before that, and now any URL like www.instagram.com/urban and my Instagram. Okay, now before I check that, I want to do a couple of things. Just one thing. I want it to open it in a new tab. Okay, for that we can add target equals _blank. Okay, now this will open it in a new tab. It's already refreshed because it's a live server, so let's try it out. Okay, it opened in a new tab. I don't know why my net is not working. Okay, maybe some issue or okay. www, that's why. Okay, let's try it again, refresh it, and yeah, it worked. So by the way, if you haven't checked it out, I am doing a Python series, so in case you are at all interested, please check out my Instagram. I have a ton of things on it which you might be interested in. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, now we learned about links and pretty much everything I told about it that we will use. Okay guys, the big project is coming right after CSS, and we're gonna start CSS in this video only. So please stick around, and I'll use every tag, every CSS, I mean most of them which you will use, and that will be a good practice. So please stick around and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, let's move on to ID and class. Well, ID and class, basically in schools and colleges we have ID, right? That's just a unique number to uniquely identify a child or a student, right? And class basically group of students which belong to a class. Same way here also we have two things to identify, like okay, let's say we have a section. We'll give it an ID of, I don't know, about. Okay, and we'll add a paragraph. Okay, so lorem ipsum is basically a dummy text which we developer use when we don't have good amount of text, or we just want to make a placeholder, basically placeholder text. Okay, so I'm going to use it here right now. And okay, so we have this section ID. Okay, now let's add a link to, basically ID you'll use mostly with CSS and JavaScript to select this segment to style it, but we can do a really cool thing with links too. Okay, actually no, let's not copy it. Okay, just add a comment. Links for id. Okay, let's add a anchor tag about section. Oops, section. Okay, let me show you. Without href, a tag is just like another paragraph tag. Actually not paragraph, it's a inline, so you can say it as a span tag. You know the span, right? So let's add href, and here to select the id, to say it's an id, we use pound sign or hash. Okay, hash sign, and tell the id name. Okay, now just verify its id name is about only. Yeah, about. So now when we click on it, we will be redirected to this. Okay, let's add a few break. Br is used to give line breaks. We can use it a couple of times to give some line breaks like this. No. Okay, as you can guess, it's an empty tag. It doesn't need any closing tag. So yeah, that's pretty obvious to you now. Okay, now let's see. It works. I don't know why I did that, but okay, it works. Let's remove some, and yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's give a hr also here. Cool. So now we have done with id, and now we can move on to class. Like we have another section. Okay, and we can add different paragraphs in it. Rem, and let's say here we want to make a link. Href is equal to some random page.html. okay, and in the between some random page. Okay, now we'll have this link. Okay, so let's see. Let's actually copy this a couple of times. Okay, now I want to make I want to style every anchor tag. Okay, so only this anchor tag, not all the anchor tags. Actually you'll get this after the introduction of CSS, when we introduce the selectors and all, but let's see, just bear for a minute. Okay, class equals anchor anchor to style. Okay, let's give all of them this class. How many times did I copy? One more. Okay, now all of these anchor tags belong to the same class. Now we just need to style this class, and all the styles will be applied to this. Okay, so basically it gets easy to say that these elements belong to the same group. That's what class is. Basically same analogy like student in class. Okay, so basically that's it for the HTML part, which we will be doing as theory, and the rest, whichever part is left, we'll complete it in the project. okay, because with what you will learn with projects, you cannot learn in theory. Okay, I always think applied knowledge is best. Okay, so now let's move to I don't know what, CSS. Obviously CSS. Okay, so there are three ways that we can add CSS to HTML. Okay, there are inline CSS, there is in document, I don't know what it's called, but we can add a CSS inside HTML, or we can make a styles.css separate file and link it to the HTML, and all three will see that right now, obviously. So I guess we'll see the inline styles at last. Let's see the in document. Like, we can add style tag inside the head, because it won't show up in the document, it will just modify the styles of a document, right? So let's say I want to select all the divs. Basically, let's see the syntax of CSS. It just has one syntax. Okay, you have how should I do this? Okay, selector, then you have angular brackets. By the way, these brackets are just to specify this selector. Okay, let's just clear them. Okay, yeah, we have selector, then we have angular braces, curly brackets, and then we have properties. Like, I want to change background color, then we have a colon, and then we'll specify the color. Okay, we have a key and value pair inside this curly braces, and every value must end with a semicolon. Okay, we can add, basically we have to select tags. Okay, so we can simply add all the divs, and let's see. So all of the div now have background color of red. Isn't that cool? I know, right? Okay, let's see. We added a class here, anchor to style, I guess. Now we cannot simply write class, it will not select. We have to start it with a dot. Okay, now it will give background color red to the all the links which have the class anchor to style. Isn't that cool? Now let's quickly see how we can select the ID also. About, we had about, right? Let's what? Okay, let's keep the property background color only, and now we have this. Okay, let's add let's change the color. By color we mean text color. Okay, white. By the way, you don't need to remember all the properties, right? You can search on Google anytime for any properties you like, right? If you want to say change the background color, which we did. Okay, let's say you want to give border. Okay, so you just write border CSS style, or MDN is also a good source. It's by Mozilla. So we can do this. Okay, you'll get, we have a border property, and we can add solid, we can add dotted, we can add how much width it should be. Okay, you should I mean, always Google the stuff you don't remember. Okay, I mean, with practice you'll always remember it, but you should keep the practice of googling. Okay, or any other search engine if you use. I don't want to discriminate. Okay, so now what I want to do, okay, let's add the border. When we have searched it, let's add it. Okay, so border takes three arguments actually, and two are important. Actually one is important, I guess. Okay, let's see. Border width, let's give 2 pixels border width. Border style, let's give solid for now. We'll explore different. And border color, these three are you gonna use mostly. And let's okay, and now we have a cool border around the our what you say, about section. Now that you know how we write the properties, let's see how we can add inline styles. Like you want to add just styles to this span. Okay, let's see. Okay, you add, okay, let's remove this width and add a style attribute. By the way, this style attribute is available for every tag. This is called inline CSS. Okay, inline styles. So let's say we saw we have to use three, what do you say, three border properties to add a border. But when we googled, there was only one border. Okay, so let's see how we can add just one border. First of all, let's give it a width of 400 pixels. Again, same format, property name, then a colon, then property value, then a semicolon. Basically to separate all these properties from each other. Okay, makes sense. Okay, let's see. Width doesn't change. Actually, let's change it a bit so that it feels it has changed. Okay, now it moves to another line, but it's still in line. Okay, don't think it's become a block level element or something. Okay, which we can make it using CSS. Okay, just it's just a simple property, display block. Okay, display is the property name and block is the wait, it did. Okay, I didn't save it. See, now it's a block level element. Cool, isn't it? Okay, let's add a border with just a single property, only border. Okay, so first we have to give a width. Okay, then add a space and then give the style of the border. Let's add this time dashed. Okay, and then we have to add color. Let's see, black or red. Okay, let's see, cool, right? And let's see which all properties are important. Okay, let's just give width and style. Cool, it retains. The default color is basically the text color of the document. Okay, so document's default color is, as you can see, black. If we change it to we can select the body element and give it a color of, I don't know, purple, violet, purple. Okay, then it will become, it's subtle, but yellow. So basically the default that's link, just ignore it. Links color work different ways. Okay, so this is the border. If we don't specify the color for border, it will take default as the default of the document's text color. Okay, let's specify it black, and it will change. Okay, now let's see if it works without attached, which I don't think it work. Yeah, so let's see if it works without the pixels, I mean width. So border style is an important or the required property to give. If we don't give width and color, it will work, but if we don't give style, it won't work. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, so this was about, oh god, that's yellow is looks very bad. I like dark color for text, at least on a light background like white. Okay, so we have that. Let's keep it 1 pixel. Yeah, looks good. And let's move to external styles. Okay, this one is great because you have separate files to edit and let's just save it. Excuse me for my phone. Okay, let's save it, and the way we add to this, let's just confirm that the style is gone from the about section. It's correct, right? It's gone. Now let's add. The way we add is using a link tag. Okay, then give a href to styles.css, just because it's in the same folder. We add dot and actually let's make it let's move it to another directory so that you can see how we how we give the path, right? So let's say styles, and let's move it, drag and drop it here. Yes, we want to move it. So let's give the path href styles, then slash, then styles.css. Okay, makes sense. Now we add rel to style sheet, and that should work. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so we added style in the in the same document as HTML. We saw how we can add styles to a single tag using inline styles, and how we can add a different document, CSS document, and link it to the HTML. So I guess this will be it for this video, and next video we'll see more selectors, more properties, more cool stuffs to come, and we'll also see a very important concept in CSS, the box model. Okay, all about margin, padding and borders. Sorry about my nose, but I don't know. Okay, so that's it for this video. Okay, let's just close it. Congratulations on completing yet another video of the series. Let's, as always, recap what you have learned today. So we learned about links, how we can link different pages, different HTML pages together, and how we can link to another websites. Like we saw how we can link to same section, different section of same HTML page. And obviously we saw about ID and class. ID is unique, you must use only one ID throughout the HTML page. Classes you can add to different elements. And obviously we started CSS. We saw the syntax, we saw a few properties, we saw inline CSS, we saw external CSS, we also saw in document CSS. I still don't know, I should Google what it's called exactly. Okay, next video we'll see some more selectors, some more properties, and obviously most important, CSS box model, all about margin, padding and border. Okay, coming up really interesting, and I hope you'll see it. So it's time for research. As such, not a research, but you have to make two HTML and CSS pages actually. One HTML and a CSS pages, link them together, add some styling, have fun. Okay, DM me your posts or stories and tag me so I can reshare it. Okay, and obviously any questions from today's video, comment down below or DM me on Instagram at urbancodes. And as always, subscribe to this channel so that you never miss another update. And bye bye.